Quantity Radio.
Welcome back to Quantity Radio. I am your host, Big Quan, not the little one. Okay? And we are back with another episode, and I'm excited because I have a guest today. And we have Mr. B Magin, okay?
You got it right too. Come on
now.
come on. We made it.
He coming here with good energy. I'm ready to get this interview started. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing swell. It's Saturday. It's beautiful weather outside, so I can't complain. Not one bit. Not like at all.
Okay. Yeah, the weather has been weathering, but we finally getting out of that shit. It's been hailing, it's been snowing, it's been earthquakes, okay?
Moving up.
We moving on to the better side, and I'm excited about that. So, you are a trilingual. Not one. Not two. But three.
We got tres.
Okay? Lyricist, hailing from the 209.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, and that's Portuguese, English, and Spanish.
Yep, all three.
All three of them. All three of y'all. Okay? All three of them. So, I mean, first of all, before we even get started into that, I want to say thank you so much for your support. Mm-hmm. Like, every time we talk, every time we text, like, you be like, you encourage me, and you just let me know, like, to keep doing my thing, and that really, really means a lot to me. So, I want to tell you, like, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I appreciate that.
Of course.
Words mean a lot, and I know that they're genuine, so I really appreciate you for that.
No,
like, for
of course. You got to think, like, this is the business, but you got to research the business, and you got to look into the people that have put in the work. And I'm not sure you've done what, more than like 50 of these episodes, something like that.
Like 50.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like it's seeing that work, and like the least I can do is just encourage it, right? I feel like a lot of people, they get to a point where it's like it's competition and whatever's happening is happening. Mm-hmm. But for me, I'm a firm believer in like if you hustling and you're doing the work, then that's what matters first. Let's put that first, and then we can all win and go forward.
And I like that mindset because a lot of people be gatekeeping nowadays, or they want to shine for themselves and things like that. But it's like, no, I mean, you gotta encourage everybody. Like, if, like you said, if you doing your thing, and like I really see you on your hustle, on your grind, like, fuck it, like I want you to win too. Like I want everybody to win, and I just want to encourage other people too as well. Like, keep doing your thing, whatever you doing. If you think ain't nobody watching, you want to give up, like, look at me over here about to start preaching. Like,
hey, it's Sunday. It's actually Sunday. Come on. Nah.
Listen,
we're moving ahead.
Your thing, like, don't let nobody stop you. Like, you put in that work, it's gonna pay off. Like, for real. So
and the proof is in the pudding too. So like, quality is everything. It's quantity radio. But like we could play on the words of everything because we sharing tea. It's your own name. You know what I mean? So it's radio. It's not just a podcast. I feel like a lot of people make podcasts, but like, let's be real. Like, hey, what is y'all talking about? You know what I mean? What are you talking about? But I think no matter what, it's like it's the work. It's just being able to work on these things and be like, yo, like there's a story to be told, and nothing better than like doing it. Making it happen. So.
And I'm like that. I love hearing people's stories. You telling stories in your music. Like, you want people to dive into that and let them know what's going on, different sides, different parts, different aspects of things. So, some storytellers around.
Yes, come on.
I ain't mad at it. Okay, so real quick, I usually do an icebreaker and I have my little cards and stuff like that. But the icebreaker today is Kendrick Lamar or Jay.
Get straight to it. Oh yeah. All right.
To the fire.
All right.
Watch out now.
This is like very fresh, like in regards. I mean, they haven't worked together. We wanted an album out of these two fellows, and I mean, it would be lovely if we had Drake involved as well, right? The trio.
Yeah.
These dudes have put in so much effort into their craft that for me as an artist too, who is competitive, I will say that like. At the end of the day, I want to be just as great as these people. The art that I create, what I push into the world, I want to break numbers like Drake. I want to have the soul that Kendrick has, I want to have the mentality that Cole has. So it's like, that trio that I see between all three of them, they each have light in each one of their lanes. So for me as an artist, as a creator, I'm not gonna sit here and compare them. Nah. They all great, and that's that. Off camera, we can talk though. Off camera, I got a lot more.
I want no smoke.
Yeah, no, it's all gravy. Like
Yeah.
I think the songs are gonna the songs themselves will speak for Kendrick to pop out of nowhere and just what's up, Cole?
That was crazy though. Like, wasn't nobody expecting that. He do like the unexpected shit though. Yeah.
He popped up.
Yeah.
And he said what he had to say.
Yeah.
And I think for Cole to fire back, and then this is beautiful because if we all pay attention to what hip hop used to be, if we really get down to the nitty gritty of it, it's like who really can battle.
Yeah.
You know, like
bar for bar.
Who can battle? Who can really say what they say and they stand behind it and they mean it and their fan base is also behind it too.
Yeah.
So I can't sit here and be like, oh, this bro, Kendrick Lamar is from the West Coast. I'm from California. Yeah. For me to bash Kendrick at any given moment, it's like, are you serious?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I around with West Coast, like.
Come on. We got to support our people.
Yeah.
So, but man, Drake from Canada. I don't think a lot of people talk about that.
Yeah.
He's from Canada. like let's be real. Like he came in here and dominated. So respect and kudos to him because he pulled up to our market and completely dominated and watched a lot of other American hip hop artists. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting for sure.
Way, like they up there. They up there. So yeah. I mean, me, I'm gonna say Kendrick, of course, but you know, it's a West Coast thing. You know what I mean? So it's this Kendrick. I fuck with Cole too. Drake. We're not gonna talk about Drake right now. So okay, we got that out of the way. So where were you born and raised at in 209?
I was born in Lodi.
Okay.
The hospital right there. Raised in Galt. It's like a little small farm country town.
Yeah.
I was there for 18 years of my life. Shout out to Galt, man. I think a lot of people obviously overlook us. We literally in the middle from Stockton all the way to Sacramento. We are the middle city, smack dab between those two. And anyone that is from Galt, California can reside with me in the saying that we had nothing. You know what I mean? Literally, everybody
was built like
listen.
Last few years, yeah.
I came out to Stockton when I was 18. And I would hear people say there's nothing to do here. And I was like, bro, pull up with me. Come over to Galt with me. We literally have a beautiful little flea market. You know what I mean? A lot of culture there. And then beyond that, we got great food, obviously. But we don't got nothing for the kids out there just as much as we don't got nothing for the kids out here in Stockton, which is sad. It's a pandemic in that sense. But, man, I love Galt. You feel me? I'm a country boy at heart. You know what I mean? That's where I come from. I love it. But I moved to Stockton when I was 18. And that's where I started making my music and doing all of that. So, yeah.
Okay. So you moved to Stockton and then got into more of the music scene after you left Galt.
Well, I went to UOP. So I went to UOP, graduated from there. And then from there, that's when I got into like working at the radio station, working with the Stockton Unified School District. And then I just kept tumbling through everything.
Okay. So how did that influence your music style? Like growing up in Galt and then transitioning over to Stockton, like did that have any type of influence on your music style, your rap style? Like how did that impact it?
I think because I've always had this idea of like being able to travel the world. I think even though I'm from a little small town, I started looking at it, I'm like, bro, I'm from California. You know what I mean? Like I'm in California, so it's like, how can I not think bigger than just like the little town that I'm from? So I think overall, like I had this like small mentality, you know what I mean? Like, like I don't think I'm gonna be able to get out there. And then when I came out to Stockton, I started seeing the culture. I started understanding like the nuances and like how people move and how I could go to a private university and it's considered a diamond in the rough, but down the street people are literally passing away, they're dying. So I was like, how y'all got so much money over here? Y'all ain't helping people. So I got kind of, you know what I mean? I got very motivated to like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be the bridge between the community, whether it's the youth and a higher power, whatever that may be. I wanted to connect the two. So like, to me, it's like, that's why I use the music. You know what I mean? Like the music is the connection between the community to like everything else.
Music reaches everybody, no matter where you're from. So it's like you can connect with everybody through your music. And I wanted to touch on that really quickly. You saying like you can be like, oh, I'm from a small town. Like, oh, I'm not going. You know, you might not be motivated it's either you're not gonna be motivated because of your environment, or it's gonna motivate you to be better than your environment. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can be from here like, oh, I'm not gonna make it big. I'm not gonna do this. I'm from a small town. Ain't nobody did this from Stark. Ain't nobody did this from Gaul and this and that. But at the same time, you can turn that shit around and be like, hey, like I'm gonna be the one. Like I'm gonna be the first one to ever do it, so I can inspire others to do it. Like you gotta have that type of mindset too. Don't let your environment make you. You have to make it out your environment, inspiring people that is from your environment as well.
We have to like be pioneers. I think a lot of times it's very hard to be a leader in today's society, especially because you're getting criticized from every angle. But I truthfully believe that we could all like lead in our own way, and like for me, I'm a big passion person. Like a lot of people, I challenge people to find their passion and whatever that is, right? Like for me, I have music, sports, and knowledge, like education. Those are like my three main like passions. So I'm trying to get others to be like, okay, like how can I find my passion too? You know what I mean? So yeah.
Okay.
We're going on tangents today. I haven't been on one of these in a while, baby. So we back. Come on, turn up.
We turned all the way up. We finna lay it all out. So I was reading, doing my research, and I know you say you sing in all three languages, right? So you sing and rap.
I would consider it like it's more melodic. Like think of like I cannot hit a Mariah Carey high tone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, that's where I limit myself, and we go. You know what I mean? We can get the auto tune and all of that in. But I think overall I rap probably 80%, and then I'm on like some melodic stuff like Kid Cudi, the other 20%.
Okay. Okay, and so you did it in all three languages, but I know you said before that rap is overlooked in your culture.
Yeah.
So being from the Portuguese standpoint, right? So why is that? Like, is it too much? Is it too?
That's a great question. I'm loving this already. Thank you. I think it's like an elegance thing. Like it's a status quo that Portuguese people have. And we could date this back. We can pull out the history books. You know what I mean? We can pull this all the way back and look at how like this think of like bullfighting in Portugal. I don't know if you're familiar with bullfighting. It's this art where it's like a bull that is like chasing after people, and they got horses that are involved, and these guys that are wearing these like shiny, sparkly that whole idea. I stem that all the way back to hip hop, and I compare the two cultures. You got one that's very shiny and bright, and then the one that's street and dirt, like you know what I mean? It's from the mud, let's get it.
Yeah.
So I think for what I want to do, I want to be able to bridge both of those things. I want to be able to say, yeah, I got an underground sense of my music and my hip hop, my influence that way. So that way I could bring it to my people and be like, yo, y'all can't judge this. You know what I mean? Look at me, I'm doing it too.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing, is like I can't stand. I will say this: I love being Portuguese. You feel me? I love that my parents are from the islands of Portugal, the same islands that Cristiano Ronaldo is from. I'm from there. That's where my main source of inspiration comes from. Right. But at the same time, it's like I'm in California, so I got a whole different perspective on my culture and the way, you know what I mean, the way that things are in Europe and everywhere else in the world. So I think I want to challenge like my people in the Portuguese culture to say hip hop isn't as bad as y'all make it seem. You know, I don't think so. So I don't think you should either.
Yeah, give them a change of perspective on that, and you're gonna be the one to do that.
I hope so.
Sure.
Pray, sure. God willing.
And you also have a bachelor's degree in music. So, and that's when you went to ULP, right? And got your bachelor's degree in music. So, what advantages has that given you being in the industry? And being an artist.
It's contracts. I think a lot of times people are so scared of contracts. They're so scared to read the fine print. They're so scared of the verbiage. They're so scared of like the lingo that these lawyers use and these banks and people that are loaning out money. They're very. It's like a fear thing. So for me, I have that advantage that I can say I have my bachelor's degree. I have a background in the contract making aspect. So y'all can't get over on me not even thinking. You know what I mean? Like what? Yeah. Oh, hold on. Read it again. Like that's my thing, is like I'm a huge advocate for the music, but I'm also an advocate for the business. I think the greatest artists have been able to balance both of those things. It's so hard, you know what I mean? It's so hard to do that. But with my bachelor's degree, I can kind of put that at the bottom of my resume, so that way when I have conversations with people, they're like, "Oh, B gets it," you know, like we can't really slide nothing by him. You know what I mean?
Got the ins and outs of everything. It's like you're not gonna pull one over on me. And it's like a lot of artists, like let's talk about that real quick too. Like a lot of artists get like hoodwinked and all type of stuff like that because they don't read the fine print. They're just signing whatever. They see the money that's there. It's like, okay, cool. Like, I'm just trying to get to the money. You think most artists are, that's what they're about? Like, but they, at the same time, they want to showcase their craft. But at the same time, it's like, I see this money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you got to, somewhere in the middle, you got to figure out where or what you're about and what you stand on.
We have to pay our bills. I think a lot of times it's like um making money off of making money off of your music is a tedious process because there's so many nuances to it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like you have to go through those nuances to love it. It's like Kobe Bryant or any great Nipsey Hussle, it doesn't matter, any legend. They went through the fine tune of the details. A lot of people are like, "Oh, the devil's in the details." For me, the beauty's in the details, because that's where you find, like, you know what I mean. You fine tune exactly what you want your art piece to look like.
Yeah.
The detail. Oh, okay. In this contract, it says this, and yeah, you will get an advance of, let's say, $50,000, $100,000, but there's a percentage to pay on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could give you something right now, but the whole, I know by giving it to you, the value gonna go up because it's you. You work so hard, you know what I mean? Like, the value's bound to go up. So that's how us as artists, we need to think. Like, oh, they're giving us money, so that value is gonna go up, and we gotta make it go up, and we gotta pay that back because nothing's free in life, you know?
That's true. That's true. So do you think it's better to go under a label or be independent and do your own?
Honestly, I've gone 11 years independent myself. I'm pushing CDs from I was 19 years old when I started writing, and then I started the recording process when I was like 21, 20, around there. But I've gone 10 straight years of independence. So I know this side of things. You know what I mean? Like, I have yet to, I am grateful. I will shout out my Plural Familia, Plural Music. I'm tapped in directly with them in a distribution deal with Empire. So Empire is kind of like, they have a big deal. They like, one of the, if not the biggest independent record labels in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So like, to be tapped in with them, and I'm also on Empire Latino, so I'm on the Latin division. So I release all my joints, all my songs go through the Latin division. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like I'm in a unique position because like I'm tapped in with Plural Music, who's doing great things up and down California. They're DJs, they're a collective of DJs, and they doing weddings to clubs to opening up for any from Diplo to like you name it. You know what I mean? Like ASAP Ferg, everybody. And I think I'm so blessed to be at my position where I'm looking and I'm like, yo, I'm 31 years old. I've been in the music business for 11 years, and I'm tapped in with all these beautiful organizations that are doing great things based on partnerships.
Yeah.
It's not based on like, oh, I'm over you, I own you, you work for me. No. We work together. And we pushing forward. Mm-hmm. I want to challenge every artist to do that. I feel like that is the smartest thing to do, but it gets very, very strenuous and it gets very lonely. So, you know what I mean? You got to know like how to navigate that and tap in with your community, tap in with your family, you know, have that beautiful balance between the two things. Because otherwise you're going to, you can go sign a deal with Universal, RCA, Sony, or whoever, and they're going to be able to get you in these studio spaces. And they're, you know what I mean? They're going to.
It comes with something.
Oh,
it comes with a price as well.
Yeah.
That you're going to have to pay back.
Yeah, you have to.
And you got to think about that too as well. So, yeah, it's like independent. I feel like independent is kind of like the harder road, but it's more worth it. I feel like in the long run.
Yeah, you gotta really want this. I think a lot of times, like we were talking about with Kendrick, Drake, and Cole, right? Mm-hmm. Those three people, they all stem from someone. If we think about it, let's all think about it. They all stem from like somebody else telling them, "Hey, pull up," you know what I mean, and shine light on their career. Whether it's Kendrick with Dre, Drake with Lil Wayne, or Cole with Hove. They all came from somewhere. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's very rare to find the E40s, the Too Shorts, the Master P, we can keep going. There's a lot of bosses out there. But, like, there's no timing on that side of things, because Too Short's biggest record came out, he was like 40-something? Right? Yeah. He was like, I think it was like 40-something. But yeah, I think, I can't give advice. I can only consult if I see that specific artist, because every artist is different. I might be able to give a piece of advice to an artist and say, "Nah, bro, go sign a deal." What? That look great. That's a great deal for you right now.
That would be for him specifically.
Go get it. Go get it. But then there's other people I'm like, "Oh, bro, stick it out. You got it." You know?
Yeah. Everybody's situation is different. Mm-hmm. So you want to be a football player?
Yeah, football.
Soccer.
I kicked for the football team though. I hurt my knee though. Oh, it was bad.
Come on.
My footy coach was so mad. But yeah, I absolutely want to play footy. Absolutely, I still do. I still do. I still do.
You dabble in that. You still play around. You still are into very like sportsmanship like things. And so, when do you have time to do that with doing your music and everything like that? Because I know you said you wanted to do that, and then you went into doing the music.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I could start with like when I was let's see, I was like 21 is when I stopped playing because I went to UOP. They didn't have a Division 1 team at the time, but I was playing on like the club team, you know what I mean, intramurals and all that. And I still had that passion. I still wanted to keep going, but I hit a crossroads my senior year, and when the crossroads hit, it was like, okay, play 1 year for the Division 1 team that had just came to UOP, or go get your internship with the radio station and start your music path. So I was like, oh no, like which one should I do? Should I keep playing footy? You know what I mean? And just see the long term and like, nah, I'm gonna get into the music now.
Yeah.
But I mean, fast forward to now, I still, when I go to the gym, I'm playing basketball or like pickup games, playing soccer like with the homies. I'm always like active. I try to stay active because I want to be able to like go cross country on a tour, you know. And if you ain't active, what?
Yeah, you can't.
Come on now, you gonna get on stage and your diaphragm gonna give up on you.
Yeah.
So but yeah, I think footy to me is like, it's a big like prime example of why I am the way I am. You know, because I've really pushed myself like I literally push myself. I treat my art like an athlete. You know what I mean? Every day I'm practicing. Every day I'm writing. Every day I'm thinking of a new concept. Every day I'm like, you know, trying to stay active. So yeah, I go on tangents too. I apologize.
No,
you know what I mean? Come on, man. We here.
Yes. Okay, so it's so funny because I'm like, once I seen like you are into soccer, I was like, okay, well, my son out of nowhere, sidebar, like my son wants to be a soccer player.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, we're gonna do football, basketball, you know, all the little main sports, and he was just like, I want to play soccer, and I was like,
damn.
Like I wasn't expecting that, so I'm just like, okay. So, what advice? My son's 6, by the way, y'all. My son's 6, but still, like, what advice would you have for him?
At that point, my little godson, my nephew just turned 7, so he literally for the first time he was playing like flag football, and then he was doing I forget what he was doing, basketball, and then he just didn't want to do footy. He was like, I don't want to pull wing, like I don't want to get involved in that. And then finally the other day we go and there's like it's like an outdoor like place that it's it's kind of like futsal but like for soccer, right?
Mm-hmm.
For football. And my nephew goes over there and he starts playing. And he's just kicking the ball around and like I'm seeing him have so much fun. Yeah. And I'm like, oh yep, it's it. But his skills that he got from playing basketball and playing flag football all transferred over. Because it's footwork.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, a 6-year-old like your son, it's footwork. It's just him being able to beat the kid to the spot. You know what I mean? And run in there.
Coordinate with the eyes and the feet and like make your way to the goal.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, playing footy, I feel like is a fundamental, like if you are good at footy from 6 to like 12, you know what I mean? You get really great at it, you are going to be a great basketball player. You're going to be a great baseball. It doesn't matter. It's all transferable skills because your feet ain't used to doing that playing basketball. Yeah. Let's be real. Like when you hooping, it's a different movement and motion than when you're playing footy. Yeah. You know, like it's just different. So I challenge a lot of my homies. I got a lot of homies that play Division 1 basketball at UOP. Shout out to all of them, my dogs. And a lot of times it's like, no, let's go play footy. Let's go kick the ball around, and then we'll shoot. So like, it's cool to be able to like do both because like, I don't know, like I think you can't get too delved into one sport. You gotta have fun with all of them, especially at 6. What?
6 years old, I'm putting him through everything. We're gonna try out every single sport. So I'm gonna make sure he sees this and takes that advice because he starts next week. No, in 2 weeks he starts his practice, and then he has his first game like the week after that. So
come on,
I'm excited to see my baby out there on the field. But yeah,
that's dope. That's hella dope.
So let's talk about you working for KWIN. I'm like, so first of all, I used to listen to KWIN.
Hold on. I gotta take off my hoodie. We're gonna dive in. That's straight.
I gotta take like wardrobe change real quick, y'all.
All right,
wardrobe change.
Sponsored by who sponsored your show? Does anybody sponsor them?
No, not right now. No, I got
no sponsors.
So if you want to be a sponsor of Quantity Radio, you go ahead and link in the bio. Email me. DM me and we can work something out. I'm always looking for sponsors.
Well, look, support local business.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. All right. So that's a
KWIN.
little break. You know what I mean? Getting back to it.
Yes.
KWIN.
So
KWIN.
first of all, let me tell you, I used to listen to KWIN growing up. So it's the whole backstory, y'all. I used to listen to KWIN growing up, right? Because I grew up in the church. Like my mom was like strictly like Christian. We didn't listen to like hip hop, R&B, none of that. She listened to a lot of gospel music. And so my thing was I was big on the radio because that was my way to listen out to everything that was coming on, all the hot new music and stuff on the radio station. So I would listen to KWIN all the time. And so it's like I had this like kind of like relationship with KWIN. I'm just like, okay, like I fuck with KWIN. Especially grew up in 209. That was our main radio station for hip hop and R&B. And so, and that's why I'm like, when I seen you used to work with them, I was like, oh shit, like that's one of my favorite radio stations. Shout out to KWIN. If you want to sponsor. But saying,
sponsor. Pull up. What's up? No.
So how did that come about? You working and getting the internship, right? Working for KWIN and then end up working for them for what you said, 5 years?
5 years.
Okay, so let's talk about that.
My experience with KWIN was so like, because I started like literally with nothing. I was just an intern, just like learning. I was able to like see the nuances of every line of the business, whether they were selling commercials, whether it was the backlog, was the engineer working on the like going, and also I had to drive the vans around, clean the storage units, go do pop up tents. Like I did all that grind, and then by the time I got on the radio, that was a whole new process because I was like, oh, I gotta start doing midnights to 6 in the morning for 8 straight months. Every weekend, Friday and Saturday night, just to learn the process, just to mess up, just to get my voice on the radio, make sure I'm not cussing. You know what I mean? Like there's so many protocols that you got to abide by that like I had a love-hate relationship with KWIN. Period. Like yeah, but that's any job. You know what I mean? You're gonna love it and you're gonna hate it. But like overall, I loved it. I loved the experiences, the people that I met, all the great like team members that I was with. You feel me? From the Jeff Bonnies to the Amanda Kings to the Jiggies to the Lonnie Q's to the Lucases to the whole team, everybody. Nikki Blaze was with us at that time. So it's like, bro, like I met so many dope people in the business, and I was able to transfer all those connections that I had into like I go to LA and they're like, oh, bro, I remember I met you at this, blah blah, blah. And it's just shaking hands and like going connections. So yeah, but like KWIN, I feel like you're right. Like in the 209, it's such a it's historical. It's like back in the days, you had this nostalgic feeling when you was listening to the radio, right? And like that's my thing is like when I was working there, we pushed to do that as best as we could. But obviously, man, it's a corporate job. Like let's be real. Like at the end of the day, people, I can't tell you how many times people pulled up to me. I was like, "B, play my song on the radio." And I'm like, "My dog, how much time you got right now? How much time you got?" It's like I wish we could put more emphasis on the local community, but there's a divide, and that's I ain't gonna lie. Like at one point, I was like so fed up with like the behind the scenes that I'm like, let's all breathe. Let's all really look at this. I get it. Money moves, numbers move. I understand that. I completely understand that. But this is an urban radio station. Yeah. This radio station is supposed to cater to the public. You know what I mean? The people that it's serving. And I think there was a disconnect at one point, and then I was like, yo, like, how do we fix this? You know what I mean? Like, so I would go out and I was working with Stockton Unified School District. So I worked as a substitute teacher during the day, and then at night, right when I get off, I'm going straight to the radio station. Yeah. And that was such a blessing. Because, like, I'm literally, at that point, I'm seeing, like, yo, the youth listen to this, but they don't really care about it. Because y'all play the same thing every day. Like, y'all trash, blah, blah, blah. So I'm hearing it every day. I'm like, yo, like, I hear you, though. Yeah. You know, I know. Yeah. I know.
So you was trying to go in there and make a difference. Like, you hearing all that feedback. It's like, hey, man, like, we need to, switch some things around. Yes. Because they listening, but it's like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So, working there for your 5 years, who was one of your favorite people or artists or whoever? Like, who was your favorite person that you met?
That's great. I met so many great people. From T Grizzly to SOB RBE to Hit Boy to Camila Cabello Like I'm talking like Saweetie pulled up one time, and I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, like so amazing, like to be around like so many great people and energy. Mozzie pulled up in there a couple times. And I was a fly on the wall a lot of times. You know what I mean? I would just sit there and just like watch.
Yeah.
Like, damn, bro, like look at how they move. Look at how their A&R moves. Look at how their other manager moves. Their videographer. You start to pay attention to everybody's roles.
Yeah.
And you're just like, yo, like they're just normal people. You know what I mean? Everybody's moving normal, but at the same time, it's grand. It's like an energy that they bring into the studio every time. So like that was one of the most worthwhile experiences to be a part of that. You know, to just be there and just see it happen.
And you seeing that happen and you taking it all in, it's like you are like transferring that over into your side, what you're doing for yourself in the music industry and being an artist and things like that. It's like, okay, well, cool. Like taking tips, hidden tips and pointers that they don't even know. Like you just watch them, they movements and how they go about it. It's like, okay, well, I can implement this into what I got going on.
My biggest thing is like my biggest advice to like up and coming artists, people that are getting into this, is like professionality. Be professional, dude. Like try to think of things from a professional standpoint. And just be professional. Be respectful. You won't hear so many no's. You're gonna hear more no's than yeses. But the moment that you can adjust your attitude to like the no and be like, oh, it's a no, but like maybe it's a yes later. Yeah. You know what I mean? I was love. Like, all right, maybe next time.
Stay positive.
Yeah, like, what? Like, come on. Like professionality. And I learned that by being in the radio business. Just be professional. You know? Not everyone's punctual. Like, look what happened today. I pulled up, we started at 12. You know what I mean? Like it's not meant to like happen right away. If it's going to happen, let it like happen naturally, you know.
Let it flow.
Let it flow.
Okay. So what's your most memorable performance? I've seen you perform at a lot of places, a lot of countries. So what will be your most memorable performance up to date?
Up to date. Yeah, I have performed in like a lot of I would say the Stockton Kings halftime performance was such a memorable moment for me.
I seen that.
Because like it was, first of all, the Stockton Kings. Shout out to the Stockton Kings. Shout out to the Stockton Forts. Shout out to the teams that we do have here in Stockton. I think a lot of times we get there's nothing to do, and I'm like, what you talking about? Like, how are you gonna tell me that they're not a G League professional basketball team here? So the moment I did that halftime performance, it completely changed my realm of like how things work. Because it's an arena, you know?
Yeah.
And this is January 2020, right before the pandemic hit. So my career is on like the uppity at that point, right? I'm like, I'm doing this performance, and I'm like, yo, I'm really about to perform at halftime. I'm nervous. I'm walking through the tunnel. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like, this is a big moment. So I think that one really stands out. And then another one would be when I flew out to the Boston. I went to the International Portuguese Music Awards. So it's kind of like the Grammys for Portuguese music. And I got nominated for an award, and I performed. My homie, DJ Mellow Music, he was DJing the after party. And it was like in the same space. And he's like, bro, hop on the mic. I'm like, oh, bet. So I performed in front of all the little Grammy people up in there. And I'm going up and singing my song. And they're like, and I'm like, thank y'all so much. I come from California. Hey,
everybody's like, what?
Tip for anybody. Tip for you, a California girl, right? That's your act. So shout out to that. But like anytime you go to the East Coast, you go to another country, you say you are from California. Say, oh yeah, I'm from California. The moment you say that, everybody's like,
yeah.
What's up, man?
You know, like everybody want to know you. Like, oh, okay.
Energy's amazing. If you, and let's be honest, if you go to another country, and you say, I'm from the United States of America, they're gonna be like, nah, but you say you're from California? Hey, hey, you know what I mean? It's different. It's split. It's different. It's different. Shout out to the U.S., but like California's a whole country in and of itself. Come on now, we got the seventh biggest economy. You gonna tell me that?
Stop playing with us. Big Cali, not the little one.
It's love. It's love. It's love, bro. Yeah. Anyway, so besides the point, I performed in Boston. It was in Rhode Island. Performed there. I think that I have so many. Sometimes it's like it's the performances that I do right in front of the people. You know what I mean? Like on the ground level with the people, where I'm just rapping. I'm getting back to my roots. Sometimes that's the biggest performance for me, because I get to see the people's eyes and be like, bro, who's this crazy white boy? Like, looking, what the hell's going on right now? What is this? He's speaking in tongues? Like, what's going on? I can't understand this dude. But like, yeah, it's love though, because I'm able to like really get back to like performing and like, yeah. Oh, I got an announcement to make. Whenever you ready though.
Whenever you're ready.
Come on.
Oh my god! Like I just want to get like real quick though. Like how was that like? So it's like the Portuguese Grammys. Like, did you feel like that moment? Like I'm doing my shit. Like I'm that person. Like I'm him right now. Like I'm here. They requested you to be there.
Man, it was like
So I mean, come on now. You doing your thing. They looking at you. They seeing your music, your artistry. Like you consistent. Like you've been doing this shit. That gotta make you feel like damn. You know what I mean?
Well, honestly, like it really catapulted my career. I think a lot of times we go through these movements and you do something and you're so far into the work that you forget that you do something. You know what I mean? You're like, oh yeah, did I do that? Oh, I did that. And like that it was a red carpet moment. You know, I got pictures on the red, all that. So for me, it was very like, oh, I'm stepping into mainstream media. That's my first foot into like, hey, yo, I've been working in Stockton and out there in the 209, and now I'm pulling up over here on the red carpet. And I can't tell you how many artists that I know of that have never been on the red carpet. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because it takes, it ain't just a red carpet. It's a red carpet. It's a red carpet. It's a different level. Yeah. And I think overall, I still felt humble. You know what I mean? Like I still felt like I was a little kid just being in there amongst all these great people. And I went confidently though. I think a lot of times we need to be confident in ourselves, confident in what we've done. And we lose that confidence when we get around people that are like, you know what I mean, that are intimidating. But for me, I am myself. I speak for the truth. I speak for myself. I speak on what I've been through. And I pray that everybody gets to feel that feeling, you know what I mean? And going on to having their music or whatever their passion is, travel them to somewhere else in the world. Like, that shit was like, oh man, about to start crying. Crazy.
Kudos to you. You doing your thing. You deserve it. So I'm happy that you had that moment. I know you got some upcoming projects in the works, so let's get to that. We ready to talk about that right now. So what do you have going on right now?
Let me see. I'm not sure when this is gonna come out, but in 2 weeks from today, April 20th, Burning Flowers. We're going to be performing there. Man, shout out to Burning Flowers for
shout
real.
Shout out to Burning Flowers. I actually had Monica on the podcast, and you know that's how we connected. So shout out to Monica. Good leaf.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
What they're doing right now for that, I pray that that's an annual event. I pray every year they're doing that because what they're doing with music, art, culture, food, and flower and quality. I'm like, yo, like y'all geniuses for real. Crazy. So I have the honor. I'm honored to be able to perform there in 2 weeks from today. That's coming up. I just got approval. I'll be performing. The Sacramento Republic. I'll be doing their halftime show.
Oh,
yeah. I got all the dates and all that are going, but I just got all for like ready to go. Okay. So we gonna do that, and then I got an album dropping in September. Around September, and it's something I've been working on for like 5 years. And
it's a two-parter, right?
It's a two-part. It's a two-part. You do you. It's love. Oh, that's fine. Yes. It's love. Yeah, so it's a two-part, it's a mixtape. So like the first part I'm rapping over like Jay-Z, Kanye, West beats, Wiz Khalifa. I'm talking like I'm going crazy on all these different type of beats. And I'm getting back to my rap roots. I want to show people like I can rap, you know what I mean? Let me get there with the best of them and showcase my rap skills. And that's a mixtape. That comes out first, and then the second portion is like it's dedicated to like the World Cup coming up out here in 2026. Okay. So that was big. Oh, we got big energy for that one. Yeah, we got big energy. So good.
Like you got some stuff coming, you got some projects coming, you got performances coming up. Like I'm super excited to just keep seeing you excel in what you're doing, and I'm proud of you. If ain't nobody telling you, like I'm gonna tell you, I'm proud of you. Keep doing your thing, like and reach greater heights and deeper depths. Like you got this. Like you got this shit in the bag. It's all yours. Like everything that you want is coming. It's coming.
For you as well. I think, you know, like your presence and your ambiance of like how you set this up. I didn't know I was coming into this, and I'm like, okay, we're in Stockton. Is this happening? Yes, I love it. Yeah. So yeah, the I like to be able to like mutually put that energy back into you and what you care, the way you carry yourself and what you're doing is hustle. So yeah. Cheers to that. Cheers.
Cheers, cheers, cheers. So last but not least, I like to leave my guest with some advice, or have my guest give some advice actually to the audience that's watching, to the listeners. What piece of advice would you give them? It could be anything that you want to talk about. Just give them some advice, some positivity.
I think you have to be original, be authentic, be as different as you can be, but be relatable as well. You know what I mean? There's a disconnect between someone that's super different, but that can still relate to the people. You know what I mean? Still pull back and the people be like, oh my gosh, like I know that they struggle to get there. You know what I mean? They use their pain and they flipped it. So I think my biggest advice is, like I said, just be original, be yourself, and then collaborate with people that you think are better than you. That's the way you get better. Like, hey, I see that person, and don't be scared to reach out to those people. We have so many damn ways to reach out to people now. Yeah. I don't care if you leaving text messages, if you DMing, you leaving voice memos, you calling, you emailing. I don't care. You reach out to these people, and you get out there, and you don't be scared to like fail. Just keep going. Keep going.
Okay, you heard it here. Keep going and collaborate. God damn it.
Right.
Let people know where to find you on Instagram, all social media platforms, where they can find your music at. Go ahead and let them know.
Yeah, everything's B Magin, so like BMAGIN. Think of like imagine the word, but instead of an I at the beginning, put a B and then take the E out. So B Magin. That's on Google, and then on Apple Music, Spotify specifically, it's just Magin, MAGIN. Yeah, go search that. I have 10 studio projects that I've put out into the world, or 9, and this 10th one is coming out in September. And yeah, so make sure you just go bump. Obviously, I like when people go from like the top songs down. Mm-hmm. So like click on the top songs, and then I know you're gonna catch a vibe with one of those songs out there.
For sure, y'all go check